Hello YouTube, Bookham Dano here. Been a while since my last video, my apologies for that. But I wanted to make a video today, and hopefully I'll be making videos a little more regularly now. But today, this is Oliver Queen, a little bigger probably since the last time he made his cameo or first appearance. But I wanted to make a contest entry for Comic Corner Club. I haven't done a contest entry before. Thought it looked fun and be a good way to get back into making videos. So without further ado, here we go. So the contest is pretty straightforward. You just have to show your 5 favorite comics and then mention your Holy Grail, whether you have it or not. So I'm going to start with Bombshells number 1. These, with a couple of exceptions, what I'm going to show is not really, super key issues or anything. But they all, mean something to me personally. So this one, the Bombshells, first of all, my wife and I really just enjoy the, that 40s bombshell art. And I like this issue in particular. It's got a great cover, I think. But at C2E2, I was able to get all the primary creators to sign it. So Marguerite Bennett, Marguerite Sauvage, and Aunt Lucia, who did the cover. So very happy to have this. Again, it's not, worth a ton of money or anything, but I think it's pretty cool. And happy to have it in my collection. Plus, it was cool to meet the 3 creators and interact with them a little bit and get their signature. Next up is another, I've mentioned before, is another favorite of mine, and that's Descender, and then especially this cover. This is Descender number 1. It is the Sean Murphy variant cover. I think it's just the beautiful cover, and I also have a graded 9.6 of this that I saw on eBay and was able to get for super cheap. But this is, I'm a huge Descender fan, first of all, but it's probably my favorite cover of the variants for issue number 1. So happy to have this, and that's number 2. Okay, so now we're getting into at least a little bit more collectible issues. First one I'll show is Detective Comics 385. Die Small, Die Big. This is a great issue. One of my personal favorites for a few reasons. The reason I bought it is because it's a birthday book of mine, so it came out in March of 1969, which is, I realize kind of an arbitrary reason to grab a comic book, but I've been kind of collecting my birthday books. But in addition to this awesome Neil Adams cover, Batgirl, really cool cover. This issue's in really nice shape. But the story, it's a Bob Kanigher story. It's really good. I know most of you that collect Silver Age books, in general, you don't do it for the stories. There's some gems here and there, but for the most part, the storytelling leaves a little bit to be desired. At least that's been my experience. But this is a really good story. It's about Mr. Small, who's just kind of a nobody in society. I think he's a mailman, and he overhears this plot to kill Batman, and he intervenes in his own way, and it's really kind of touching. But good story. It's also got a Batgirl solo story, which is cool. Next up is another Neil Adams cover. This is Batman 200. This one's important to me because when I first started, when I first got into comics a few years ago, um, you know, Batman is kind of my thing, and I was immediately drawn to Neil Adams' work, of course, and so I read that his first work on the title was Batman 200, and I thought, man, that's really cool. It's an anniversary issue. That's his first work on it, and who wouldn't want that? So it was one of the first books that I actually went out and sought after, and I bought this copy on eBay. Real nice book, probably fine, very fine. I don't remember what the back cover looks like. I need to check that out. But the front cover, anyway, is fine, very fine. And it's signed by Neil Adams. I bought this on eBay at an auction, and whoever was selling it probably was not a comic person because they didn't mention the signature. And it was an auction. But the book came, when it was mailed, it's got a full backing board and Mylar. Looks beautiful. Sorry for the glare there. But I had already met Neil Adams, and I was really comfortable with what his signature looked like. So I was like, I'm positive that's signed by him. So I went ahead and bid, but I think my winning bid was $25 or $26 plus shipping. So very happy to have this. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a very key book for Batman collectors. Last but not least, and this is actually a valuable book, a key book. This is Justice League number 22, early 60s, right in the Silver Age. It is part 2 of a story, one of the original Crisis stories, Crisis on Earth 2. It's also got Justice Society crossover, and that began in issue 21. My local comic book store had this, and the way I was able to obtain it, which is part of what makes it really cool for me personally, is I was able to trade for it. And I had bought a run of Sandman comics. I think it was number 2 through number 65, and they were all in, probably very fine plush shape or better. At an auction, another comic store was closing, and I had gotten these. I went back and looked it up. I had gotten that run for $2.50. So, and I was able. I think they gave me $180 in store credit for it, and if you can see, whoops, wrong side here. So the comic store had it priced at $100. So I used some of my trade credit on it. But this is a beautiful copy. I'm considering, probably having it pressed and cleaned and graded. But I'm really, really happy to have it. Cool cover too. All right, so that's the end of my 5 favorite books from my collection. But I do want to mention my Holy Grail. It is one that you don't really see ever. And it's not one you hear mentioned a whole lot. You probably know if you've seen some of my other videos that I'm a big Plastic Man fan. And so my Holy Grail would be Police Comics number 1. Now, it came out in August of 1941, so early Golden Age book. But it's the first appearance not only of Plastic Man, but of Phantom Lady, which was another, huge Golden Age book. I've got the first 2 of 3 volumes of Roy Thomas's series that collects all of Phantom Lady. So I'm still looking for volume 3. I've got the first 2 in hardcover. And the volume 3 is fairly easy to find in paperback, but I'm almost wondering that I've never seen a hardcover version for sale at any price, and I'm wondering if it's just not, something that wasn't made. So anyway, Police Comics #1 would be my holy grail, and probably will never own a copy of that, but I do keep my eyes open for the reprints. There's a couple different reprint versions of it out there. So, hey, thanks a lot for watching, YouTube. Good luck to Comic Corner Club, and all the best going forward. Thanks a lot. Bye.